Good morning, my Fixin family. Hope y'all are having a great day. I got a bunch of tickets to scratch off. I bought these right before the ice storm hit, but I've got nowhere to scratch them off at. As you can see, my canopy is laying there in the ice. Now, I can set up in the back of my car. It's a little difficult to do so, but I think what I'll do is scratch off Big Red today, and then hopefully the weather will warm up and I can scratch in the back of my truck and get that back, because right now my tailgate's just frozen solid. So I know y'all are curious to see what happened here in Texas in the winter storm and kind of see how it affected us. So I'm going to take you on a little tour of the property. We'll walk around a little bit. And so let me put these down and I'll be right back. So our biggest challenge, and I know you're curious because I mentioned a lot that we're off grid on our water. We use a rain capture system. We have two 2,500 gallon water tanks here. That's our pump house over here. And right now that tank over there on the left is empty. I drained everything out and put it over here. But there is a challenge in the wintertime with rain capture systems with above ground tanks and above ground pipes because they freeze. Now every year I've had some issue, but this year we got down to, I think we got down to 10 degrees, -7, wind chill was the lowest I think we recorded, and nothing's froze. Everything is great right now. So I know you're curious to see. So this is what we have right now. We have what, 1,800 gallons, and I'll see if I can get up on the steps without falling. It's actually starting to melt today. I'm filming this Monday afternoon. It's been just an ice rink around here. So yeah, it's coming off our pump house here. And this is kind of a, if you're wondering why I have it set up like this, we normally have a screen that goes over our tank for the rain capture to kind of get some of the debris out. But what happens with an above ground tank is that the top of the water freezes and then it creates a seal and you can't pump out the water because there's a vacuum in there. So what I did is kind of rudimentary, but I've got just a window screen and then I've got an old level and a PVC pipe. I've got a hanger to it, so it gives a vent hole. So that actually goes through the ice and allows it to pull water in. As you can see, it's actually, we're getting some of the snow melt. Well, ice melt, we got no snow here. So that's how our system is set up. So let me, I tell you what, let's go feed the birds and let me go grab some bird seed. Okay, so this is the view from our backyard. This was, Friday night, we got freezing rain, and then all night long we had sleet. So we had a couple of inches of ice and sleet, and all this was just an ice rink. It's starting to, whoa, I'm dropping my seed cake there. Let me grab that real quick. Let's go put this down and I'll show you. We've been kind of having to ration the bird seed. Gosh, grab it this way. We've been rationing the bird seed because the birds are just wiping us out. Mrs. Fixin's got some of her trees and plants covered. I don't think plastic bags are going to help. That's all we had. So we're trying to keep them alive. But the birds have just been, oh my gosh, that bird feeder was full this morning. Oh my goodness, they're hungry. Hungry birds. Yeah, that was too. That's crazy. There's one lone dove. Put this seed cake in here for them here. And then I'll just throw this over here. Got some black sunflower seeds. We'll put over here. Got to feed the birds. All right. And then we have a little ring camera set up here so we can watch the backyard to see if anything comes down our trails. So yeah, this is what it looks like. In Texas, this is pretty normal. We get a lot of sleet and a lot of ice, so we've been iced in for the last couple of days. I mean, you just couldn't, now it can kind of, well, it's still kind of frozen. But see, it's just sliding, sliding everywhere. But let's go down here, and I'll show you. This is the back part of our property. See the little rabbit trails. Sota was so disappointed. He kept singing the song before all the ice hit. He goes, "Do you want to build a snowman?" It's like, so I said, "Do you want to build an Iceman?" Because I think that's all we're gonna get. So I'll go over here. I'll show you. Oh wait, let me do it this way. So he was a little disappointed. Yeah, I'm glad it's starting to finally melt. The sun came out. It was 17 degrees this morning, I think. I'm going to show you, because I don't know if I got to do video after the fire. You know, we had a fire a couple of years ago that burned all this to the ground, and we can still see the trees that were, all those didn't just lose their greenery. That's all the fire burned those off, and that's just what's left. So everything kind of grew back, except these trees are going to be here. dead cedar tree is going to be back here forever. But I wanted to show you something that's kind of interesting. So I never liked this back fence. The previous owner of this land put this snow fence up, and I think he must have got it cheap somewhere. And anyway, when the fire came through, that's the only thing that's left. This whole thing was a snow fence, and it actually just incinerated all the slats in it, and so it made a more decent fence. But all these slats here, all these burnt up during the fire. So that was only, I guess the fire didn't get right there, got the rest of everything this way. All right, let's go over here. I can drive back here when I want to, if we have some tree cuttings or something to clear, then I can put them back over here and I drive out this way. Yeah, you can see it's beautiful. We just don't get the snow. We just get all the ice part of it. Fun if you want to ice skate or get on a sled. Oh, there's Angry Cow. I don't see any deer prints over here. Let's see. We got a little trail goes off that way. I hear something over here rustling. All right. So we made some paths over here for us to walk. All the birds are happier. I guess it's a little bit warmer out here today. I tell you what, let me take you to the other side of the property. Let's start over here. I realized my camera wasn't recording when I hit it. I guess when my gloves or whatever. It was too cold. I wasn't recording anything. So we're on the east side of our property now, and this kind of area that I like a whole lot. We bought this land. We have 15 acres down here. We bought this back in 2018, and then we moved out here in 2019. It was completely undeveloped. The man that had owned it previously for years wanted to build out here, but he never did. And so he kind of used it as his kind of junkyard. He just pulled all kinds of trash out here. So we got it for a pretty good price, but we really had to clean it up a lot. Look, I actually can kind of step through the ice now. Ice. And so we just spent a couple of years cleaning off the property. And then we decided that we'd go ahead and pull we were going to do solar. We knew we were going to do off-grid on our water, but we're going to do solar, and we still plan on doing solar, but we decided to go ahead and pull in electricity. Although it was a long ways from the pole, we had to clear away 1,200 feet, or no, 1,000 feet of brush so that the utility poles could come in and lay some utility poles in here. And so we have electricity out here, but we are off-grid on our water, and we'd like to do a nice big solar system in the future. But yeah, a lot of it was spent just cleaning everything up. Because it looked like he had, like he had demolished a house or something out here. It was just either that or there was a small house in the property and they just demolished it. Because it was just laying out here. There was a whole big pile of roofing shingles from an entire house and just an old barn that had a bunch of just junk in it. So we spent a long time just clearing that off, piece by piece. But now it's just beautiful. You know, we had the fire, and the fire actually helped. We used to have a lot of, this was full of cactus as far as you can see over here. There's still a bit of cactus. The cactus here, right there, can you see right here? That was just everywhere. So if we got some benefit out of it, that house I was telling you, or that small building that was demolished, the fire actually incinerated it. That cleared that away for me. And then it cleared away all the cactus. Now it left all these unsightly trees, but that's okay. We've got, now we have a grapevine on one, and we're putting some holly, no, not holly, honeysuckle on some of the others. Yeah, you can still see where they were burned up. I'll show you this one. This is the one that burned forever. Hang on, we go over here. Oh, and they're feeding the cows. That's what they're doing over there. I see our neighbors over there feeding the cows. There's a cottontail. We still have deer coming up. But this tree, the cedar tree, oh my gosh, it burned forever. It's beautiful though. We're gonna do something with it. We thought about putting a wisteria or something on it. But it's gorgeous. Even burnt, kind of a skeleton. So I'll give you a little panoramic of the property from the west side. So we have a nice big grove of trees over here in the middle, which is nice for privacy. And oh, I never told you this. I don't think I mentioned, when we had the fire, it burned this telephone pole completely down. We actually had to have that replaced. It was just a massive fire. If you weren't with us around that time, it was the firemen. We had like 20 fire trucks on our property because the neighbors were burning trash, and we're under a burn ban. And the trash got away from her. She wasn't using a screen, and it was like over 100 degrees, and it just started coming across our property. And the fireman said it was going 100 feet a minute, and it just wiped out our whole property, except right in those grove of trees over there. A lot of that survived, but you can kind of see what happened. But yeah, we were kind of shocked. We didn't really notice it was burnt until we got over here and noticed that the bottom of it was it was almost tipping over. It had burned through that telephone pole. It's just a pretty hot fire. Okay, let me take over here one more place and we'll wrap it up. So I'll tell you, this is essentially our front yard over here. So we just got a text from our daughter, and she sent a video over. Soto was driving his, I don't know if you remember, he got a truck for his birthday, his 4th birthday, and he's driving around the backyard, and he's got stuck. He's sliding in the ice in his backyard. That was funny. He's having fun. He's having fun though. Yeah, but Soto loves it out here. We love to take little walks and we're going to try to cut some more paths through here and put a pond at the front. I think that'd be a lot of fun. That's the only thing this property doesn't have is a pond. And but we've got a good spot for one. This is where I was recording earlier. I didn't realize I didn't have it on. But we love this little meadow area because this is where the deer come through. The deer, I've got some ring, the camera I showed you earlier, I've got some ring camera of some of the deer and the bucks that have been coming up through here, and the raccoons, and I'll try to put some of that at the end of the video. I think y'all would like to see. We got one really big buck, it's just beautiful, but I'll see if I can pull that from the ring camera and put it at the end of this video. But yeah, this is a pretty little meadow. Oh, I wish you could see underneath all this ice. But we have got just tons and tons of bluebonnets. We're going to have so many bluebonnets this year. It's just going to be incredible. So I'll show you that in the springtime. All right, guys, let's go scratch off that big red $100 ticket. All right, let's play a $100 big red little 3 Supreme, as Marmy says, just takes one. I got this at the Texas Cup before the ice storm hit. It is ticket number 5. I had to take my gloves off because when I started filming, but the camera wants to pick up on the back of my gloves and it was making just a little bit blurry, so I took my gloves off, but I think we'll be okay for 5 minutes while we scratch off this. All right, big red, come through for us. All right, you'll see it. All right, here we go. Cactus and a bicycle. Whoop. Cactus. Actually, my car is stuck right now. Usually we put it up on ramp so I'd have a little bit higher area to scratch off on, but I can't right now. I've got, 4 or 5 inches of ice behind my tires. All right, ship. But this will work. This will work. All right, cowboy and a mockingbird. Cowboy mockingbird. Cow, angry cow. All right. So I saw what they were doing. So they separate the cows, and I think what happened when they feed them, and I think one of the cows or some of the cows get angry because they see the other cows eating. So I think that's what's going on over there. So we'll call it angry cow. Oil rig, oil rig, and a boar. All right. And if the sun stays out, it should melt quite a bit enough that I can get everything back. My normal filming area set up. All right, strawberry. No strawberry. Rhodian cherries. Rhodian cherries. No. Fire. Horse and Mr. Lizard. Hen. Shoes and newspaper. We got, ooh, come on, Bun Buns. Come on, Bun Buns. Football. Horseshoe and desert. Chili pepper. Ah, they're kind of setting up for that $200 win. Let's see if we can get Bun Buns. That'd be nice. Moonrise and a cowboy hat. Spur or butterfly or both. Bun Buns or butterfly. Sunset. Don't give us pecan tree because we won't get butterfly. Bruce. All right, only chance right now would be Bun Buns or butterfly. And pecan tree. All right, no win up. Yeah, they give us pecan tree. All right, no win up top. We can still win down here in the bonus. We just need 2 matching. All right, let's do it. Piggy. Bank. Piggy bank, huh? Pick. Go bar, go bar. Flag. And the Joker. Shades. Lamp. Moon. Wishbone, wishbone. Trophy. Bird, bird. Oh, that's a boot. All right, let's go ahead and check our multipliers. Anything down here? Guaranteed. I can't talk. Guaranteed claimer. Jeez, come on, something big. Necklace. All right, let's get on this last row. We won a lot here at the end. Coffee. Coffee, coffee. Lightning bolt. Sun. Wallet. Birthday cake. Not over yet. Airplane. All right, last spot. Come on, last spot save. Last spot. Bag, bag, bag. No candy. Oh, no win on a big red low 3. That's okay. We'll try it again tomorrow. Guys, hope you enjoyed it. Y'all go find some big winners today. Y'all have a great and lucky rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later.